friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki and welcome back to Wolfquest, where we are here with Cole and his Wildfire pack. And oh my goodness, have I missed these guys. Hi Soul, how are you, buddy? We are still raising our pups, and I gotta say, let's see here. Who do we have over here? Ash, I think? No, Ash left us, didn't he? Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Nope, of course it is my boy Ash. Hello, Burn. Hi, buddy. I missed you guys. We've got our Soot over here. Gotta say hi to everyone. We've got Lightning, of course. Lightning, you are absolutely gorgeous. I just want you to know that. And our wonderful girl Azula over here. And of course, we've got all of our little puppies to raise up as well. Hello, Thule, with your little dino. How are you doing, my love? Let's go ahead and just do a check-in on everyone, since it has been a while since we have been back with them. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's take a look here. So it looks like the pups are fairly sleepy at the moment, and little Zuko is still our tiny little boy. I can't believe how many females we got this year, you guys. I hope that everybody makes it. But food and stuff is looking good. The yearlings are hungry as usual. Soul is incredibly hungry. Sir, have you been doing all the babysitting recently? I mean, we know he's a big boy. He does take quite a bit of food, but we do still have a bunch of energy here. So, Soul, would you like to come on a hunt? Let's go hunting. We don't have really any sense around. Oh, Soul immediately lays down. Soul, we gotta go hunting, bud. Okay, there we go. We've got a few wolves here to go hunting with us, so we're not sure who's gonna stay behind to babysit. And let's check on the territory as well. Oh my goodness, territory sure is something, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, see if we can find some food out here. I mean, the wind is coming from that way, but we at least have Soul with us and quite a few others. We even have Crimson as well, so that is great to see. Just kind of come up here and get a few of these territory spots, my goodness, and really get started with the day. So I hope everyone in the comments are doing well. And yeah, I just can't wait to sink right back in with our wolves here. Oh my gosh, who is around? Okay, it's just dogs, but we have the beans to the north, and the beans is such a huge pack. Our pack is getting bigger, much bigger, I will say, but it is certainly going to be a challenge to raise all of these pups. Now, I can't remember if it was in the last episode or not, but we had our brother Spark leave us, which is very sad. But we still have Soul and Soot with us and some of our older wolves. So I really can't wait to get reacquainted with everyone, see what personalities are coming out, and raise the little ones that we have at home. So I am going to do a little bit of territory management here. We're going to try to find some food, and I will bring you guys back. Alright, well, considering that the land is so dead around here, oh my goodness, we're gonna try and catch up to this mule deer. I know that it is not going to fill the pack up very much, but we just gotta try, man. There is nothing out here. So let's see if we can catch up to this mule deer. We do have the stamina on our side, but maybe one of the other pack members. Ash, you gonna go and get it, buddy? He's thinking about it. Oh my gosh, they are just getting away from us. My goodness. Okay, Soot might be. No. Oh my goodness. You guys, we need food. For poor Soul, he's so hungry. He's been doing so much babysitting lately. Alright, well, off we look again, I suppose. Alright, friends, we certainly are hungry. We actually were able to find a carcass along the way, so Soul is not as starving as he was, but we still persevered. We found an elk herd, so it only feels right to go ahead and do the hunt. Now, I would like these guys to turn if they would, and head relatively near the den, but doesn't seem like they are going to oblige here. There we go. We're getting a little bit of a turn out of them now. Let's keep on going here. Keep a listen out for anyone who happens to fall. And yeah, if they could go north, that would be great. But yeah, Cole didn't get to eat any of that food from the carcass, so oh, it looks like Crimson has chosen someone. We have our little special ability now, so we can see if that is a good choice. This one is at half. I don't know, considering the season that we're in, if that's the best one to go for, but we've got a large pack, so let's go ahead and give it a try. We have no energy. But I feel like the rest of our pack will probably be able to get in there and get some work done. Soot's trying to go for it. We're right in the middle of the herd though, so things can get a little bit dangerous here. I heard one fall and another fall. Oh my goodness. Ow. Okay, maybe this one. She actually looked like she was gonna fight for a moment, so let's back up here. She's probably one of the ones who fell. No, she's not doing great either. Let's maybe check this one out. Yeah, Crimson had it right. She picked a good one. Looks like the boys are interested in going after this one now. I'm happier that this one is a little bit farther back. So if we can just get it to slow down. We have no stamina. Alright, pack. Soot suffered a little bit of an injury there, but we'll try to do our part here, bringing it to a stop if we can. Come on. Let's go, everyone. We got the pack to feed and the pups to raise. Good job, Crimson. Crimson picked out the best one to begin with, so very proud of her. And we're unfortunately running south again, which is not exactly where we want to be. Man, Crimson is really holding on. Oh, man, and we just get kicked right off. Alright, but we should be able to take it down now that it is slowed. Good job, Set. I know the whole pack is really tired. We've been out for quite some time today. Yeah, Crimson, you know, she's a little bit of a lazy wolf, like I've said, but she is an amazing hunter. And she does like to go on a lot of adventures. I think that's really because she truly enjoys the hunt. So, look at her confident tail back there. So now Cole can actually get full up, and quite a few pack members get to eat, which is wonderful. There we go. Hi, Crimson. Yeah, you did a really great job, girly. We should have gone for the one that you picked out in the first place. That was a really great find. Hi, Lightning. Okay, pack. Let's go ahead and mark this. And we are also in some territory that we need to reinforce. Hi, Lightning. And Okay, we ended up pretty south. We are also actually being raided right now. Oh gosh, looks like it's from the beans, unfortunately. And we just reinforced all of that. So thank goodness we went up there, but it looks like that did not deter them at all. Alright everyone, get your last bits. We'll take a meat chunk as well. We've got this all marked up and... Oops, that's a rock. Let's head back home to everyone and get some good sleep. Alright family, look who is back. Oh my goodness, little ones. Man, I feel like lightning honestly has a pretty close connection to Cole. Every time we turn around, we just see his big bright eyes staring right back at us. I absolutely love that. And there he goes with the skull. Oh goodness, puppies, did you miss us? We did bring some food, brought a little chunk there. I hope everyone is doing well. We do have to... Excuse me, we do have to be on the lookout, however, because just over the horizon there, we are being currently raided by the beans. So we're gonna have to see what that looks like after we go to sleep. Looks like for the most part, everyone is cleaning up the mess and we should be ready to take a nice long nap. So let's go down. And just because I'm concerned, I am going to woof the pups into the den straight away. Looks like we're technically fine. There was so much howling while we were asleep. I was pretty concerned that they were going to be jumping right on us in the morning. Okay, we seem to be fine, so let's give the pups some time to come out. There we go, little ones. Hi, Striker. Striker and Soul having a little conversation there. And the little ones have plenty of food, thank goodness. Do we have any other pack members that are pretty hungry? The yearlings are getting hungry. I think Azula is out there kind of gazing off, looking to see if any sense of food come wafting in. And let's see how bad that did our territory. Not too bad. We probably still want to go north and see if there's something we can do about that. But the pups sure are growing. Little Zuko's gonna take some time though, my goodness. Alright family, well, another day, another territory conquest. Let's go check up north and see if we catch any scents of anyone. We'll pea by our pea tree. Very important pea tree here, and I think Cole would want to do a little bit of sniffing around because he heard all of those wolves last night, but you know, he kind of stayed hunkered down, stayed with the family, made sure that they didn't come too close to the den, and now we're gonna do a little bit of investigating. We should call these the Deadlands up here because there is quite literally never any food, even though it's a wonderful little grassland. There are some bison nearby. Maybe this will be the home of the bison, and when the bison update comes out, the Wildfire will be so good at taking out bison. We'll have to see. Alright, what hex are we in? Nothing too crazy here. And keeping in mind, we do want to maintain, you know, the borders that we like to set. So it's not only about taking hexes, it's really about the landscape and what landscape that we want to own. So for these, we just skirt alongside these mountains here. So we'll be able to take a look and see what sort of damage they did last night. Yeah, this hex was really, really low. And And yeah, these are super fresh. Granted, we don't necessarily want to be up there though. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is all at 100, so we're gonna leave that alone. And we're just gonna do a quick run along the mountain here. Pretty sure this one is at 100, yes. And we're not interested in going up there, so even if they took some stuff that's up there, that's fine. I believe we took that when we were fighting with them. So if they want it back, that's totally fine. They can have it. Lovely moose here. Boy, wouldn't you be a nice snack. Alright, now looks like they did take one from us that is in some territory that we're interested in, so let's get to that and see if we can take it back from them, and fingers crossed we'll be able to do it without a conflict, and if there's some food out, we will certainly get some. Also, who joined us today? Any of the hungry kids? We've got Lightning here. Hi, buddy. Lightning really does enjoy coming out quite often. Lightning, Burn, Bolt, and Ash. Good to see you, Bolt. So Azula didn't come, unfortunately. She was pretty hungry. If we do end up taking out something out here, we can always call her to it, which would be fine. I suppose we should probably reinforce this one because this is a little bit of some flat land that goes up. So that's probably why we have that hex the way that we do. And keep on going. Yeah, the beans were right here. They moved on up into that section. Which if they're out of it, that's fine. They can be up there. We're gonna be going this way. You guys, look at this new howl animation. I absolutely love it. And everyone always like wags their tails when they're howling now. So cute. And Burns like cocking his head sideways. Look at Ash. Aww. I love that. Oh my goodness, the fog rolled in real quick, didn't it? Okay, well, the beans didn't come after us, which is great. So we've got this portion back from them, and I'm not really too concerned about the rest. We can always come up to the rest of the mountain base a little bit later, but we don't really come out too far this way. But our territory always kind of shifts and changes. You know, when I play Wolfquest, I try to really keep in mind that a wolf's territory is where they are. And the game does, you know, talk about that, especially when it comes to young hunters. You know, packs are going to be nomadic. And so I really try to maintain my territory in spaces that I know I'm going to want. Obviously keeping the den in mind, but I also just try to mark territory when we're out and about, when it makes sense, when we are out hunting the elk, and just really try to live in the minds of these guys. So I think, oh nope, that's a bear. No, you guys, come on, that bear's not doing anything to us. So I think let's mark this 66 because we're right by it. And I don't know that we're gonna find any food today, which is fine. We can always try to find a little bit more food another day. I think we're gonna end up having to go south to find some more food because there is just never anything here. I did make sure to go ahead and mark the spot where the elk like spawned in last time, just because at this point I feel like I'm going to have to start marking them. The which it makes sense with the forest, with the Ashwood forest, with it being so dead. You know, maybe the trees and some of the bark and stuff on the trees was really, really delicious in that area before it all burnt down, and with it being burnt down, I think it is kind of scaring a lot of the larger prey out of it. They do still wander in at some points, but they're just not as prevalent there as they probably used to be before the wildfire happened in that zone. So it is just something that this pack has had to adapt to over time. Which you would think a few generations down we might start getting better stamina, but it doesn't seem so. Alright, let's get some affinity up with these pups because we actually didn't do that before we left. Hello everyone. Definitely got some really dark pups this time. And Crimson is a gray, so we do have the possibility of gray coats coming in. But so far everyone is still pretty dark. And if we're thinking about who may lead the pack one day, Little Miss Azula going into the den there has definitely been a contender. She is one of Cole's pups, and you know, she is pretty young as well, so I think it might be pretty cool to have one of Cole's pups lead the pack one day. We're gonna snuggle up to Soul here. And she is very pretty light, so we might see what happens there. Everyone's just gonna snuggle up in the snow. Oh good, and Crimson minor injury healed. She was hunting pretty hard the last time. And now we need to get these pups fed a little bit more. Doesn't look like we have any food to share. Does Ash? No, he doesn't. Check on that territory as well. The stuff in the south is hanging around. So I think because nobody can feed these pups, let's send them in. And it's unfortunate because the wind doesn't often favor the south when we want to go hunting there. But it seems like a pretty smart move. Now, Azula, did you come out of the den? Where is Miss Azula? Is she still in there? No, she's out here somewhere. Is she up here? Am I just that blind? It's fine. We'll do our let's go hunting. I'm sure Azula will find us somewhere. There she is. Azula, I thought you weren't in the den. Look at her cocking her head. Azula, would you like to go hunting? Yeah, I thought so, girly. Alright. We're not hunting rabbit though. We've got bigger things to hunt. Oh, just kidding. We're being raided by a bear. Hopefully the pups are gonna stay in and not come out just because we stepped away for a moment. Alright. Let's scoot out of the way. It's actually a big boar grizzly. Ouch. Good job, Ash. Everyone watch out though. That bear's gonna throw some hands. Wow, we actually did a lot of damage on that guy already. Okay, now let's see who all follows us here. Azula's gonna be like one of my main concerns. And see what we can find to the south. Well, friends, we have returned to the carcass that we took down the previous day. It feels smart. We actually did quite a bit of running around and could not find any elk. So once we get these dogs out of the way, I think we're gonna have to chat about our territory because, my goodness. come on, sit. Let's get rid of these dogs. There's still plenty of food on the carcass left. Azula, you better not be tangling with that cougar out there. What's your health at? Okay, you're doing fine. Come on, Azula. Leave that cougar alone and just eat some food. Azula is the worst to try to get to eat. She's so distracted all the time. But I'm glad to see that she is cooperating now. And I think Cole is going to need to actually eat some of this food as well, because I don't like not being able to provide for the pups. So we'll take about 2 bites there. Oh my god! Cat! He just came up and pounced on Burn. Cat, there's like nothing barely left out of this. Okay, we're just gonna take the rest then. Gosh, that was so mean. Alright, yeah, that is not worth tangling with a cougar over. Let's make sure there's not any like meat chunks or anything nearby. And Azula, how much food did you get, my love? Okay. And now Soul's super hungry again. Gosh, yeah. So I was trying to do a little bit more research on where the elk might be, and found a very interesting video that they did a super long time ago when they were talking about, I think it must have been when Anniversary Edition came out and they were still working on Tower Fall at that time. Of course, they're working on it again now, but it's a heat map of the elevations, and it really gave like a good visual of where the elk like consider good spawning territory in certain times of year. And unfortunately, this whole section right here is all area that the elk don't really want to spawn in. So at least during the winter time, during different times of the year, they do or they are in some of these other areas, but during a large portion of the year they don't want to be anywhere around here, and everything kind of down in this section. This is why you can always find elk in the town. So we may end up needing, oh, and then they really don't like this whole area right here. So if we're gonna find elk, it's pretty much gonna be over here in the hinterlands, or following the river down and maybe a little bit into the back 40. So knowing that, and even up against these little edges, they don't really like. So they don't like the cliff edges. They don't like this big Blades Peak, but then they enjoy the hinterlands and stuff. So it is just really hard with the area that we choose to have the pack in. It's something that the Wildfire has kind of always dealt with a little bit, and I think that kind of harkens back to when Timber and Nisha were first starting out. If you guys remember from way back how hard we had to fight for literally every hex that was ours. And I bet that, you know, this area right here just wasn't as contested. It wasn't an area that a lot of wolves really wanted to be in and take over, because of how, you know, hard it kind of is to survive in this area. We've got this burnt down forest. We, you know, have not a lot of predators coming through. I mean, yes, we do see them. Like, there will be elk that spawn in this forest from time to time, but you know, the wind really has to be in your favor in order to find them. So yeah, this area is definitely a little bit hard, but I think that also harkens back to just how hard working this pack is and how much they really hold on to what is theirs, because they're proud of what they have and they've worked so hard for it, and they've been able to survive in such harsh conditions here. So I don't foresee the Wildfire leaving behind this forest really ever, but their hunting strategy is definitely going to have to change now that the pack is getting bigger. Now that we're raising these pups, they might have a little bit better of an idea of where to go. And that is really all coming from Cole and the, you know, kind of research that he is doing to try and figure out the best way to take care of his pack. And he's been hunting in these lands, you know, his entire life. And yes, he definitely learned a thing or two, you know, from Timber, but seasons change, elk change. You know, one year is definitely going to be very different from years prior, and the pack is just going to have to adjust. So we are pretty close to home here. We can see everyone's names popping up. And thankfully we do have a little bit of food because we didn't even feed the pups today. So let's get up to them, try to get them fed, and work on our affinity too. Hi, Firefly, you're gonna get the first food. There we go, little one. I know you're very hungry. But some of the pack was able to get some food, so it's gonna be a little bit of survival of the fittest here. You better get in there, Zuko. You need to you need to get up big and strong. There we go. The rest of the pack is able to share. That's very sweet of them. Alright guys, well, while the pups eat up, I just want to say a huge thank you for joining me today. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed and you want to see more Wolfquest on the channel. I know we took a little break there for a while, and I do still plan on playing some other games, but I really thought you guys would enjoy popping back in to see our family, and I am very, very desperate to get these pups grown up, and I just missed everyone. So leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you want to know when I post so you don't miss out on my videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.